There was once a woman named Lily. She was beautiful. But more than that, she was kind, and she was gifted. She was a painter. She lived in a small town, not too far from Paris, but far enough to be quiet. She had her little studio, with brushes lined up neatly, paints waiting in their jars, and the smell of oil and turpentine always in the air. Lily was 24 years old when everything began. She gave painting lessons on the side, mostly for children or young adults who wanted to learn. She didn't do it for the money, though. A little extra helped her pay the rent and buy paints. She did it because she loved to see the spark in someone's eyes when they discovered their own talent. That was when Robert came into her life. He was only 19. A little shy at first, tall and slim, with dark hair that always seemed to fall into his eyes. He carried a sketchbook everywhere he went. His family wasn't wealthy, but he had something more valuable: talent. Real talent. The first day he walked into her studio, Lily noticed it right away. "You're Robert?" she asked, smiling as she wiped her hands on a cloth. "Yes," he said softly, almost embarrassed. "My mother said you give lessons." "I do," she replied warmly. "Let me see what you've drawn." Robert hesitated, then handed over his sketchbook. Inside were pages filled with streets, people, old houses, trees bending in the wind. They weren't perfect, no, but there was life in them. The lines breathed. The pages whispered. Lily looked up at him and said, "You don't need me. You're already an artist." He blushed. "I still want to learn," he said. And so, their lessons began. At first, it was simple. She would show him techniques, like how to mix colors to capture light, or how to hold the brush so his strokes felt alive. But soon, the lessons became more than that. They would talk. About art, about books, about music. Robert would sometimes make her laugh with the way he imitated people in town. And Lily, who was usually calm and composed, found herself smiling more than ever. One evening, as the sun set and the golden light filled the studio, Robert said softly, "Painting with you feels peaceful." She looked at him, surprised. "Peaceful?" "Yes," he said. "The world feels noisy. My family, my school, everything. But here, it's like the noise stops. Here, I can breathe." Something in Lily's heart stirred. She knew what he meant, because she felt the same. It didn't take long for them to fall in love. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It was gentle, quiet, like a river flowing steadily. They would walk by the riverbanks after lessons, sometimes not saying anything at all. They didn't need to. Their silence was full of meaning. One night, under the stars, Robert whispered, "Lily, do you ever think about the future?" She smiled. "I do." "Why?" "I wonder if you'll always be part of mine," he said. Her hand found his. "I hope so, Robert." But life has a way of testing love. Robert's family belonged to a different faith, and they held strict beliefs. They were not happy about him spending time with Lily, not happy about the closeness between them. At first, they only gave him warnings. But soon, the warnings turned into anger. "She's not one of us," his father said firmly one evening. "This will not continue." Robert tried to defend her. "You don't know her. She's good, she's kind, she..." But his parents didn't listen. They lied to him, whispered poison into his ears. They said Lily had another man. They said she wasn't who he thought she was. And he was only 19. Young. Confused. Pulled between love and duty to his family. One day, he didn't come to her studio. Then another day passed. And another. Finally, she went to his house. But his family was gone. They had moved, far away, without telling her. Just gone. Her world broke quietly that day. But Lily didn't stop painting. She painted through her grief. Canvas after canvas, filled with colors and shadows that carried all the love she had no place to give. Many suitors came into her life. Men who admired her beauty, her talent, her independence. But she said no. Always no. She never married. She never had children. The years passed, but she never stopped missing Robert. When Lily was in her 40s, she heard a piece of news by chance. A gallery owner mentioned Robert's name, and Lily's heart skipped. She searched, asked questions, followed the small trail of information until she discovered where he lived. He was in another city, hundreds of miles away. Married now, with 3 children. Still, she went. She rented a small apartment near his home. Not to disturb him. Not to break his life. That's not her intention. She told herself she only wanted one thing, to see him. To know he was real, not just a memory. Every morning, she would stand by her window. She learned his routine. At the same time each day, Robert walked by, heading to work. Sometimes in the soft sun of spring. Sometimes in the pouring rain. And sometimes in the icy cold of winter. She watched him with quiet devotion. Her hair had changed color by then, by choice. She dyed it, so he wouldn't recognize her if their eyes ever met. He never knew. To her sister, the only person she confided in, Lily once said, "The pictures I'm painting now, they hold all the love I still have for him. And for me, that is enough." And for 5 years, it was enough. But Lily's body grew weak. Illness came, slowly at first, then heavily, until she could no longer stand by the window. Her sister, seeing her pain, made a choice. She reached out to Robert. She told him the truth. She told him what Lily had done all those years, how she had lived nearby, how she had only wanted to see him walk by. And so, one day, Robert entered that little apartment. Lily was in bed, pale, breathing slowly. When she saw him, her eyes filled with tears. She didn't say much. Just 3 words. "I love you." Robert sat beside her. His hands shook as he reached for his wallet. He pulled out a small photo and showed it to her. It was a picture of his firstborn daughter. Robert, with tears in his eyes, said, "Her name is Lily." He said softly. That was all. And that said everything. After Lily passed away, Robert often found himself walking a little slower on that street. For years, he had walked the same path without ever knowing that someone he once loved had been waiting quietly behind a window. Now, every time he passed that building, he would look up. He could almost imagine her there, her delicate hands resting on the windowsill, her eyes following him, her lips carrying the secret of her love. He told no one about those last words she had given him, or about the moment he had shown her the photograph of his daughter. That memory, he kept for himself. The story of Lily and Robert is not one of happy endings. But it is one of true love. Love so strong that it lived across decades. Across silence. Across distance. And sometimes, that is enough. Sometimes the quiet devotion of one heart leaves a mark on the world, a mark that no years, no lies, no illness can erase.